right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coco. I am Jen. Thank you for joining me this morning. All right, you're here at the Strong and Steady class. Let's start with our warm-ups. We've got our chair and our dumbbells. Make sure your water is handy. Let's extend our arms out from our sides as we're seated on our sit bones. Draw in your belly button and exhale as you start working through those small circles with your arms, focusing on your shoulder blades and the stillness of your torso. Good. Continue with that movement as I admit another person into the class. Okay, good. Good. Now change directions of your circles. Maybe you can feel the need for your inner thighs to engage just a little to hold your knees still. And exhale. Nicely done. Okay, pause, and we'll send one arm back into a backstroke, staying soft in the chest. Relax through the neck and jaw. Nicely done. One more, and then we'll switch sides. Exhale as you open up through the chest. Nice work. Now go ahead and come to standing, and we'll do some hinge work. Okay, so place your hands on your hips. Elbows should be retracted slightly back so you feel that light engagement in your lats. Soft bend in the knees, draw the belly button in. Exhale as you hinge through the hips, melting belly button through sternum toward the mat, maintaining that nice neutral spine. Visualize your hips moving like a gear as you hinge forward. Heavy heels pressing through the mat to activate hamstrings and glutes to drive you back up to a standing upright position. Good. And trying to stay soft in your hip flexors as you're able. One more, good. Okay, so now we've lubed up that hip. All right, cross your arms out in front, these genie arms extended out from your armpits. Draw in the belly button as you inhale and exhale as you body weight squat toward the ground. And nice long exhales throughout your squat. I want you to extend the length of your breath. Exhale as you go down and all the way up. So long counts of breaths. Inhale as you're up. Exhale as you descend and rise back up. One more. All right, nice job. Okay, now we're starting to feel a little bit of blood flow better in our bodies. Now we're gonna move through our next exercise, or our first exercise, excuse me. Okay, so we're gonna start off today through 4 circuits as we normally do. We're gonna do a squat with a lunge, and we're gonna focus on a reverse lunge squat. Now our squats, we can do body weight or you can add dumbbells. If you have your chair and want to use your chair, I'm aligning it to my right side, so my right hand would be down. Okay, this is a combination movement, all right? So we're starting with our good squat. So inhale, exhale as you squat and rise. Okay, now we're gonna step back with the right foot, stepping back, engaging through your glutes, pressing up to come to standing. Okay, back to our squat. Draw your feet together and step back, reverse lunge. Good. 4. Now feel how strong your lats have to be to support your upper shoulders. We want to maintain that nice neutral spine throughout. So squeeze those lats right through the armpits so you don't feel like you're pitching forward and you don't feel like your shoulders are rolling forward. One more, exhale and exhale. Excellent. Okay, now we're gonna go to the other side of the chair. If you're not using dumbbells, your left hand is down. And remember, you do not have to bring knees all the way to the ground. You need to engage your glutes. All right, squats. Inhale and exhale, squat. Left foot is down, right foot steps back and out, squat, and step back lunge. Squat and lunge. All right, with that lunge, equivalent work. You should not feel that that front leg is doing all the work. Back butt engaged. Good, one more, squat and lunge. Nicely done. Okay, now we've worked through a lot with our stance and movement. Now we're gonna stabilize our pelvis. So keeping those dumbbells and moving into a split stance. Okay, so here's our good split stance. Weight is evenly distributed on both feet. Back heel does not have to be down. All right, we're not driving back, sending our center of gravity into our back. We wanna keep it at our belly button. So heel can be gently raised, all right? But we're nice and comfortable here so we could stand all day. It's a working stance. All right, Zottman curl. All right, palm up, curl, twist, palm down nice and slow. 1 and 2, 3, coming down. 3 as you curl, twist, 2, 3, coming down. 4, coming down. Quicker on the concentric and slower on the eccentric. 6. Good, engage those glutes, nice and stable, shoulders to hips. And 8. Good, okay, now we're gonna alternate our split stance. All right, now I've got right foot forward, left leg back. That front knee has to have a nice bend in it, okay? Now I may have overdone it with my weights here. I'm gonna pause and drop down in my weights a little bit because we're gonna do front to lateral raise in our split stance. Okay, so exhale, palms down into a front raise, slowly lower, and exhale into a lateral raise, slowly lower. Okay, let's go through that. 1 count, 2, 3, coming down. 1 count, 2, 3, coming down. Good, front for 3, 2, 3, and side. 1, 2, 3, coming down. And 4, 1, 2, coming down. 1, 2, coming down. Good, out in front. Good, how stable is your framework? 1, 2. Good, and out to the sides. And 7, 2, 3, coming down. 2, 3, last one. Up, 2, 3, coming down. Up, 2, 3, coming down. Good, okay. Now pay attention. If you felt your neck getting shorter, all right, relax, we gotta release the tension, okay? We're gonna go through that set one more time. Okay, so reach for your dumbbells again if you wish to use them, or align your chair into the space you have there. Okay, so now I'm to the right of my chair, so that means my right foot is gonna stay down, okay? All right, if you're holding dumbbells, your palms are facing you in a suitcase carry. Okay, ready? Body weight, or dumbbell or body weight squat. Exhale, and feet together, stepping back with the left leg into your lunge. Good. Think glutes, folks. 3, 4, exhale. Now, if you are controlling your glutes, you can lower yourself comfortably and engage coming back up without lowering your knee all the way to the ground. That's your goal, to operate with that much control. One more, squat and reverse lunge. Good, okay. Hopefully you're getting a sense for your glutes this morning. All right, other side of the chair, left foot is down, the chair's on my left. All right, squat. And step back with the right. And squat. 3. Breath, belly, then movement in that order. Use your breath to engage your core. Tightly wrap that belly and then move. 7 and 8. Nicely done. Okay, split stance, Zotman curls. All right, so it doesn't matter if you don't remember what you started with, it doesn't matter that much. One leg forward, one leg back. Front leg is bent. Back heel is lifted. Core is in its neutral spine. Palms up, curl, slow going down. And curl, slow coming down. 3 and 4, palm up, palm down, nice and slow. 6, 7. Be mindful here. Are you gripping in your jaw and in your neck? Is your lizard neck popping out? Your sternocleidomastoid, relax. All right. Turn your head from side to side. Move into your opposite split stance now. Okay, we're doing front to lateral raises. Oh, I'm downgrading my weights. All right. All right, nice and on balance. Draw in your belly button. Exhale, raise to the front, palms down. Exhale, raise to the side. Floating to the surface of the water and then slowly dropping to the ground. Use your breath. Slow, slow, slow. 5. And 6, 2, 3. 2, 3. 7, 2, 3. 2, 3. Last one. And out to the side, 2 and 3. Nice first circuit, guys. Hopefully you got a little shine on. I did. All right. Now we're gonna stay with, oh drat, I lost my ponytail holder. We're gonna stay with some leg work here. Now we're gonna work on sumo squats. So we've been focused a lot on just front to back movement. Now we need to get those adductors and abductors firing. Okay, now for this one, we're gonna do a sumo squat with a Y raise. Okay, so when you start in your positioning, your heels in and your toes are out. All right, so you're feeling that external rotation in your hips right off the bat. All right, we're gonna sink down and we're gonna have light dumbbells between your legs if you have that option, okay? So we're gonna sink straight down, core stays neutral, sink, rise, exhale as you raise your arms up into a Y, and then slowly bring it back down. Sink, exhale, Y, and slowly bring back down. Sumo squat. So this combination of movements, right? We're right in the center of gravity. Exhale as the weight moves away from our center. So you may feel this need to buck your hips. Use your breath instead. Good. No hips bucking. Do not get into your low back. Exhale, wrap the low belly, transverse is sinking, rib cage closing. Slow. Good. One more. Squat. Coming down. Nicely done. Okay. Now let's move to bent over tricep kickbacks. I'm gonna try and put my hair up with a clip. Sorry, guys. Okay. All right. All right. Bent over tricep kickbacks. Let's remember, we want to find our nice neutral. So we're standing, and before we begin, we're lighting our forehead. Our lats are awake. They're ready to support us. Soft knees, hinging forward, arms dripping toward the ground. Okay, neutral spine, draw the elbows to the rib cage. Exhale, extend. Blow. Good, I'm on 6, 7, elbows are not moving, and 8. And draw back down, fingers dripping to the ground, and hinge and return. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and do more sets of curls. Okay, I'm gonna choose to downgrade my weights a little bit because we're gonna do some external rotations with our curls. So working on our shoulders. Now, I'm gonna sit down at this point, all right? And when you choose to sit down, you're choosing to stabilize your pelvis, okay? It makes you more safe in the low back, but it also helps you isolate, where am I wiggling too much, right? So 360-degree curls, make sure your legs are in parallel, knees pointed toward me, inner thighs engaged. Neutral spine as you sit upright, okay? Elbows to your ribs. Inhale through the chest. Exhale as you curl. Externally rotate in the shoulder joint and return. 2, 3. Now, as you externally rotate, you may feel your ribs want to flare out and your back to arch. That's why we're sitting. Don't let it happen. Try and keep those ribs zipped together. 7 and 8. Nicely done. Okay, now we're gonna do rainbow dumbbells. So we just have one dumbbell and we're gonna do rainbows, all right? So we will do this one standing with our knees softly bent, a slight hinge in our hips, but neutral spine, right? I'm not completely upright, I'm going forward just a little bit. And we're gonna paint rainbows around our body, working, articulating through our shoulders. All right, grasping that heavier dumbbell by the ears. Exhale as you draw a rainbow up and around. Torso's completely still. 2. Breathe. 3. And 4. Change directions. 1. 2. 3. And 4. Nicely done. Okay, now we're back to the top with our sumo squats to Y raises. Okay, now if you said to me, Jen, I'm feeling this in my low back now. All right, that's because we have so much weight going away from our center of gravity. So lower your weight. If you had water bottles filled with water at home, that might be good if you don't have a lower option. Or you can just go with focusing with no weights, getting the most out of your sumo squat, zipping your ribs and raising your arms into a Y without weights, all right? Because it's much worse to hurt your low back in this position, okay? Ready? All right, sink into your sumo squat, knees in, knees out, heels in. Exhale as you draw up into a Y and slowly lower with control. 2, blow as you raise to the Y. 3, it's really hard to control that torso movement. If you have your shoes off and you're pressing your feet firmly into the ground, you can probably feel your toes spread out as they search for balance. Good, one more. Good. Nicely done. Okay, now back to the bent over tricep kickbacks. All right, active in your lats here. Nice and neutral, soft bend in the knees. Exhale as you hinge forward, arms dripping down toward the ground. Draw your elbows to your ribs, squeeze them together. Exhale and extend. 3. Work hard in those upper traps to maintain that neutral spine. 6, 7, long isometric holds, and 8. Good, lower the arms, hinge back up to standing. Nicely done. Okay, 360-degree curls. All right. Okay, back to our seated position. All right, let's focus on that good lateral rotator muscles in the shoulders here. Okay, ready? Find your sit bones, wiggle into them. All right, feel that pelvic floor lifting as you exhale and curl. Externally rotate. Good. So that curls the fast part. Exhale through that really slow rotation. 5, 6, 7. Squeeze those elbows in. Don't let them separate out. And 8. Good. Nicely done. All right, now we're on to the rainbow dumbbell. Okay. All right, so I've got my heavy dumbbell. I'm standing, knees are softly bent, belly button's in, elbows locked. All right, ready? Drawing that rainbow. Exhale for 1. Active feet into the mat as you stay totally still. 3 and 4. Change directions. 1, 2, long breaths. 3 and 4. Nicely done. Okay. I just realized we're halfway through the workout and I didn't give you a water break, so pause and get some water. Okay. Now we're going to start our next round of work with our chair. And I'm going to set my chair sideways to you. Okay, so we're going to work on a chair reverse plank. Okay, so that's backside, the posterior. Okay, lats all the way down through your lower back extensors. Also, we're talking glutes and hamstrings. And then we're going to go into airplane arms, boat pose in your chair or on the ground, and then seated breaststroke. Okay. So, and I'm going to get, for this sequence, light weights near you. Okay. All right. So reverse plank. I'm seated at the edge of my chair. My legs are extending out in parallel. My heels are in the ground. My toes are up. Plant your hands on either side, right below your armpits. And then you're going to slide your fanny off of your chair. Okay, so we can be here, but we want to be in a slide position as well as we're able. If we're not able, go ahead and let your hips drop down just a little bit. If you're feeling really strong today and you can lengthen your legs even more, this is a great position, a full plank from your chair. Okay, now we're going to work on single leg lifts. Okay, so we're going to exhale as the left leg gets heavy, the right leg's going to float and switch. You got it? Okay, ready? Exhale and float and float. Now, if you're able to look down or get a sense for, you're strong from your lats to obliques. Your hips are not rotating. Hamstrings are working. One's digging into ground and the other leg is floating. And 1. Okay, walk your feet back in. Replace your hips on your chair. Okay, wiggle those wrists out. I know that was a lot. I always promise we're not going to do too much on the wrists. Okay, so that is it. We're going to do that another time, but that's enough for the wrists for the day. Okay, now I've got my light dumbbells. I'm going to hinge forward and we're going to work on airplane arms. All right, my legs are in parallel and I'm hinging forward, maintaining a neutral spine, and my fingers are dripping toward the ground. You may use no weights. We've done this before with absolutely no weights, but I have little 2-pounders here. And I'm focusing on my rear deltoids, all right, the backs of my shoulders. My arms are gonna remain straight as I exhale and bring them out to parallel. And I want you to focus on exhale, keep your spine neutral, and drawing from your backs of shoulders up and down with control. Now, if you feel like it's too much, even with the light dumbbells, drop the dumbbells. Just focus on body weight and allow yourself to think, I'm controlling all this movement with my back. With the backs of my shoulders My scapula, my shoulder blades are remaining very stable in my back. One more. Good, and the arms are dead. Nicely done. Okay, now boat pose overhead press. Okay, so we can be seated in our chair for our boat pose, or we can be on the ground. All right, so boat pose is reclining with a neutral spine, putting that, your center of gravity is still at your belly button, right? So now we're putting the weight of our own torso into our low belly as we recline back. We have a dumbbell at our chest, elbows in. All right, ready? Exhale as you press up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't let your spine fall apart. 7 and 8. Okay, draw the weight to your chest. Exhale, return to upright. Nicely done. Okay, the last element today is working through just a little bit more shoulder work. And again, here, we're working on concentric and eccentric. All right, as we're seated either on the chair or on the ground, we're gonna put the dumbbells on the rack. Okay, so elbows in, wrists on top of our elbows. We're gonna press to the ceiling and then slowly lower to the ground. And press and curl, press, slowly lower. Curl and press, slowly lower. Good. Curl and press. Exhale, feel all your stress and worry cascading down from your ears. Good, curl and press. Good, 2 more. Curl and press. And last one, light in the neck. Nicely done. Okay, let's take it back from the top. Okay, we're gonna work, hopefully your wrists have recovered and we're back to our reverse plank work. Okay, so I'm on my chair, on my sits bones, planting my hands on either side of my armpits so I can sit nice and tall here, lifting my heart toward the ceiling. I'm gonna extend my legs so I can slide my fanny off. Okay, so I can go here, I can go fully extended, or I can be here, but we're doing single leg lifts. Ready? 1. So we're supporting this torso of ours on 3 limbs and not 4, alternating, but we're focusing on not moving through our torso. So shoulders and hips, nice and stable. Leg is floating. 1 more, 7 and 8. Good. Slide your fanny back to your chair. Shake out your wrists. Good job. Okay, now I'm gonna turn so you can see me from the front angle for our seated airplane arms. Okay, so belly button in, legs in parallel, hinging forward, okay? Arms dangling, all right, just gently down toward your ankles. And then exhale, draw from your backs of shoulders and back down. This is a lightweight movement, so you can isolate and focus. Am I pulling from the backs of my shoulders? Is my core stabilized? Is my spine in neutral? One more, and 8. Nicely done. As you pause and reflect, you should feel that blood flow, that fatigue in the backs of the shoulders. Okay, now we're migrating back to our boat pose. In the chair or on the ground. Legs extended and are bent in parallel. If we're seated nice and tall to begin, we'll exhale as we recline back, hinging. All right, elbows in, dumbbells at our chests. Ready? Exhale and press. 3, 4, 5. Good, staying nice and balanced, not moving, not rounding. And 8, good. Okay, hinge to come out of that if you can, lower that dumbbell. And now we're back to breaststroke. Okay, back to your chair, neutral spine, sits bones, legs in parallel. All right, so getting your dumbbells, ready, curl and press, slowly bring it down, curl and press, exhale, curl and press. Good. As you use that breath to slow down your movement, visualize that belly button go into spine and the ribs closing. Good. Focus, isolate on the stillness of your torso. One more. Curl and press and slowly lower the arms to the sides. Nicely done. Okay, hopefully you're feeling it more in your shoulders than you are in your neck. Okay, good. Get some water. We'll move on. We have our last round and then we'll get onto the floor. Well, actually with this last round, we are on the floor. So we're gonna do chest press. Then I'm gonna teach you a variation of a traditional chest press that's a scoop press that would be lighter weight if you had your options. Okay, and then we're gonna do single leg raise going into a dead bug crunch and hydrants. Okay, so I'm gonna align my dumbbells before I lay down. Okay, now, as you remember, as we go down to the ground, ideally we're going down in a half kneel. So using your chair to lunge down and support onto one knee, bring the other knee down, plant the hands into tabletop, and then turn your hips to the ground. Okay, good. All right, and then slowly lower yourself all the way to the ground. All right, excellent. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start with a chest press. Okay, so I want you to bring your dumbbells. Now, the best way to do it is to cross an arm over the belly and drag it onto the belly and so on, so you're crossing to pull. All right, now I have it here on my chest, resting here. You may choose to go into a glute bridge if you wish, okay? So that's a progression up. You don't need to, however, but what you do need to do is make sure your legs are in parallel, knees pointed at the ceiling, okay? Now I'm gonna go ahead and go into a glute bridge. So I'm gonna exhale, press my heels to the ground and drive my hips up. Okay, now I'm gonna press the dumbbells toward the ceiling and round my elbows. All right, now I'm keeping my arms rounded and rigid, and I'm gonna begin lengthening through my pecs, opening up, and then contracting through my chest to close. So long through the eccentric and contract more quickly. 1, 2, and contract. 2, 2, and contract. 3, 2, elbows to the ground and contract, bring them back together. 4, 2, and contract. 5, 2, and close the gate. 6, 2, 7, 2, and 8, 2, and close. Okay, now what is a scoop press? I'm gonna lower the dumbbells with control, drop my hips, and set them off to the side. Now, whenever we learn a new movement, remember we always opt for slightly lower weights, right? If we do too heavy a weights, we'll either hurt ourselves or by starting to compensate because we're trying to train new muscles to get busy here, okay? So scoop press, my arms are not teed out, they're more down like in an X shape. So not at my hips, but more between a T and all the way down out here in this space, okay? And my palms are up toward the ceiling. But again, my arms are gonna be rounded and rigid. As I'm here, I might say, okay, my elbows are into the mat, right? And I'm gonna contract through my serratus and my lower pecs to scoop up and bringing the tail of the dumbbells together. I don't wanna bring both together, the head and the tail, just the tail, okay? All right, so it's in a V. Okay, ready? Now, do not arch your back. Okay, so you have to get heavy in your low belly. Ready? Exhale, and scoop. Scoop. Good, arms are rounded and rigid. Rib cage closing. And 4. 5, you will have that sensation of squeezing through the armpits. 6. 7. And 8. Good. Slowly lower those dumbbells with control. Nicely done. Okay, now they're out of our way. We're going to go ahead and extend our legs, and we're going to slowly exhale as we drag them up over our hips. So palms into the mat, exhale into the low belly, and contract to drag one leg up, and then exhale into the belly again, sinking as the other leg floats up. All right, great. So we did 2 single leg raises. Go ahead and raise your arms above your chest, palms facing each other's fingers to the ceiling. All right, now brain work as well as belly work, okay? Dead bug crunch. Alternate arm and leg falls to the ground while your belly sinks, okay? So let's start with right arm, left leg. Exhale. And then exhale to drag them back up. Exhale to lengthen as you alternate sides, and exhale as you drag them back up. Be mindful. Sink into a deeper low belly if you feel it in your low back, or if you feel your back arching, as in you feel your ribs opening up to the ceiling. Good. I'm on 7 and 8. Good. Now bend those legs into chair position and lower them one leg at a time back down to the ground. Excellent. Okay, now as we're able, we're going to roll over onto our sides into our tabletop position. Okay, and now we're going to work through some hydrants. Okay, so wrist under armpits, spine and it's nice neutral, hips are supported by your knees into the ground. Gaze at the ground, and we're going to start with that left leg, and we're going to exhale and contract through the glute and oblique to lift the leg. Hydrant is self-descriptive. Imagine you're a dog. Nice and slow. Exhale and return. Visualize that contraction in your glutes and the deep muscles underneath your glutes. 7 and 8. Nicely done. Okay, let's switch sides. All right, be aware as you get tired here, your arms may want to start bending to help you open up. Don't let that happen, especially that opposite arm. Okay, press your hands through the mat. Neutral spine, exhale, and hydrant in return. Good. Feel that right oblique work, that right glutes. Leg is a dead weight for your glutes and abs. 6, 7, and 8. Nicely done. Okay, now we're going to make our way back down to our back. So find your way onto your hips. You're going to slowly lower yourself back onto the ground and roll back over. We're back to chest press, scoop press, dead bug crunch. Okay, so I'm going to teach you the proper way to do this. I'm on my back. I have dumbbells on either side. I'm not going to externally rotate and pull them back in. I'm going to reach over my torso and grab the one on the right side with my left hand, the one on the left side with my right hand, and I'm going to drop them on my belly. Okay, that's the better way to do it. All right, legs in parallel, heels into the ground. Exhale as you contract to lift your hips up. Exhale as you press the dumbbells to the ceiling again, round the elbows, and slowly eccentric movements and contract. And 2. Lengthen, visualize that lengthening through your pecs. And 4. 5. Good, strong through the chest. 6. 7. And 8. Lower the dumbbells to the chest, slowly lower your hips down. Drop the weights off to either side, again, crossing your body. All right, now we have scoop press. So I'm downgrading my weights. If you weren't, you could have kept your weights kind of where you were. All right, now remember, in this position, you might feel this need to arch your back, opening your rib cage to the ceiling, creating a big tent under here. You don't want to do that, okay? You want to maintain a neutral spine. So pelvic floor lifting and transverse sinking like a stone towards your spine. Okay, arms at an X, all right? Down low. All right, ready? Create that rounded shape, elbows into the mat, wrists are up. Exhale, and scoop into that V, lengthen, and scoop. 3, 4. Do you hear how I'm lengthening my breath to use it throughout my entire movement? And as the dumbbells are up above my chest, that's where I inhale. Good. 6, 7, and 8. Lower the dumbbells with control. Okay, remember, every time you do a new movement, it also takes a bit to get a hang of what should I be feeling. We're focusing on lower pecs, so kind of that area right under anatomically where your nipple resides. Those are your lower pecs, into your armpits, but also your serratus, those finger-like muscles that surround your rib cage. Okay, we're working on strengthening through those. So if you feel your rib cage closing on that, that's good. Okay, that's what we're going for. All right, so now we're going to do that single leg raise and go into our bird dog crunch. All right, so exhale, and we can do it from legs extended or legs up in stargazer pose. I'm in stargazer pose now, so I'm gonna exhale, draw my knee into chair, other knee into chair, and then extend my legs to the ceiling. All right, there's my dead legs. Extend your fingers to the ceiling, right up from your armpits, palms facing. All right, dead bug crunch, heavy belly sinking like a stone. Ready? All right, alternate, heavy belly. You're sending weight away from your center of gravity as those arms and legs move away. Heavier belly in opposition. Good. Excellent. One more on each side. Good. Okay, bend those knees. Legs are in that right angle. Float them back down to the ground with control. Good. And arms down. Now let's roll over for our last set of hydrants. Pressing your torso off the mat. Getting knees under hips, palms under armpits, and dumbbells out of the way. Okay, excellent. All right, so visualize yourself nice and broad between the shoulder blades, okay? All right, pressing through the mat, strong serratus. Exhale as you hydrant with that left leg. Lats, obliques, and left glute. 4. All right, don't just swing that leg, contract and hold. It's not just the moving, it's how you move. Contract and hold. 7 and 8. Excellent job. Let's switch sides. Okay, ready? Pressing through the mat. Exhale. 1, keep those arms straight. 2, if you had to visualize your shoulders and hips with flashlights pointing down to the ground, they should not stray. They're straight ahead. They don't move, even though you're working through this hip movement away from your center of gravity. Stay still, use your breath. 7 and 8. Excellent job. Okay, let's go take a child's pose really quick to stretch those glutes before we roll back down onto the mat, onto our backs. All right, that was good work, especially as you were able to isolate. Okay, I'm getting my dumbbells all out of my way as I make my way down to the mat. And we're gonna start in our stargazer position. Okay, so we're imprinting into the mat, settling into our neutral spine, preserving that space in our cervical spine as well as our lumbar spine. I always do a little check to make sure I have a comfortable positioning that is neutral. All right, now as I begin with my breathing, and we've been focusing on breathing all during class, I'm inhaling through the chest and exhaling Low belly, and I'm focusing on low belly sinking like a stone. Inhale through the chest. Exhale from the low belly. Good. We'll take one more and we'll move into our work. Inhale through the chest. And exhale, pelvic floor, transverse rib cage. Good. Okay, on the next exhale, we're going to float the right leg up into a chair position. All right, and then inhale through the chest and exhale as you extend that right leg out through a male slot, active in your right oblique, soft in the leg, and then exhale as you return. So we're training and warming our low belly. Exhale to hold the weight of our leg away from our center of gravity. Exhaling with each piece of work. Exhale as that leg extends. Right oblique contracts to pull the knee back into chair. Exhale as it extends. I'm palpating my low belly because I want it descending, descending, descending as that weight gets heavier away. I don't want my low back popping up. And I don't want to feel like I have to press my low back into the mat. I want to train my belly to support it. Okay, float that leg down. All right, we'll go with the left leg. Exhale as you float it up into chair. And then exhale as it extends to the male slot. And return. As you listen to me breathe, remember listen to the pace of my breath, long and slow. I don't lose it all in the first second. I need that breath to help me work throughout my movement. You need your breath for your hardest movement. Sometimes we have a tendency to asphyxiate when we're doing our hardest work. And then we don't have breath to help us. So we have to kind of sometimes retrain floating that leg down, retrain our brains so we can use our breath to help us. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and lace your fingers behind your head. You don't have to interlace them too tightly if you don't wish to, all right? But bring your ears around, or your palms about to your ears, okay? Now you can keep your legs here with knees to the ceiling, or you can open your knees and bring the soles of your feet together so you can relax through the inner thighs, get a nice little butterfly stretch. But then our goal is to forget about our legs, okay? They don't exist, all right? We're gonna warm up our rectus abdominis and our low belly. And with our next exhale, as that stone sinks toward our spine, we're gonna float our head up off the mat. And then check in, making sure your head feels heavy in your hands. It's supported by the strength of your lats and of your chest. Inhale through your nose, into the chest, and then exhale into the low belly. Good, and as we work here, we're gonna work on beginning to curve the upward part of our spine. All right, so as we exhale, we're gonna begin contracting and rolling forward slightly, not because we're pulling through our neck, but because we're contracting from our rectus abdominis, okay? So exhale, low belly, rectus abdominis, and lats, helping us to crunch up, as it were, but we're really curving in our spine at the top side. Okay, stay soft in the neck. Don't drive your chin to your chest. Isometric hold and float back down. Exhale. And you may get this sensation of rolling through your shoulder blades as you roll back onto the mat. Exhale, rolling forward to the edge of your shoulder blades and back down. Good. Exhale. Stone is sinking in that low belly. Keep it sinking, sinking, sinking as you curl up. Sink and curl, rectus abdominis and lats. It may seem a bit odd that we're using our lats to help us here, but we don't want to pull from our neck and our hands. Our lats are pulling us forward like a hammock. As we're in our isometric hold, we want to feel like we're a hammock from armpit to hip. and releasing back down with control. All right, all the way back down. Nicely done. Hopefully you're not feeling too much tension in your neck. Draw your knees together. All right, so we're back to feet on the ground, knees to the ceiling. Nicely done. Good, nice little breath work. Okay, now we'll add in a little bit of rotation for today. So palms are down onto the mat, neck and shoulders and chest are soft. We're gonna exhale and let our legs fall to the right side. Keeping your left shoulder blade down, feel the left side of your pelvis peel up off the mat. All right, now we wanna dig deeply into our body setup. So exhaling, pelvic floor and transverse, sinking, and then left lat to obliques are gonna draw the dead weight of your legs back up toward the ceiling. Okay, let's do that again. Slowly lowering, feel that nice gentle stretch and rotation. Relax here for a moment if you'd like to, and then inhale through the chest. Exhale, pelvic floor transverse, rib cage, and left lat to oblique. Use those energetic palms into the mat to help activate those lats. Okay, drifting back down to the right. Exhaling into your body setup and left lat to oblique. Let's go to the right side now. Slowly lowering. Right shoulder blade stays down, and then exhale. Right side drags it up as transverse wraps to stabilize your spine. Drifting back to the left. And exhale. And move. Well done. Keep your legs as dead as you can. I know that's tough. All right, let it slowly drift to the left. Lengthening through your low back, lengthening through those glutes. Ah, that feels so good. All right, inhale through the chest. Exhale, wrap that low belly. Right lat to oblique drags the legs back up. Nicely done. Okay, let's reposition ourselves and we'll take a couple spinal articulation moves. We have a couple of minutes. This will be good. Okay. All right, so glute bridges. So we're finding our imprint heavy into the mat. Heels are into the ground, light in your toes. All right, so articulation means we want to really feel each vertebrae move. All right, so as we settle here, our heels are heavy and our toes are light. We are going to work through our hamstrings, but the big worker here is our transverse. So as you inhale through the chest and beginning your exhale, your pelvic floor and your transverse is going to sink like a stone to start rocking your pelvis forward. Okay, now we're not going to build all the way up. I want us to just rock that cradle just a little bit. Stone sinks and tailbone lifts with the exhale. Good, and our glute bridge follows here by the belly getting so heavy, not only the tailbone, but the sacrum, S1 through S4, and then the heels get heavy as you begin to contract through the hamstring, and transverse continues to pull one vertebrae all the way up until you're like a slide going back to your shoulders from knees, hips to shoulders. Shoulder blades are into the mat, palms are active, lats are supporting. Legs in parallel, strong inner thighs. Good, now soften through the chest, melt through the shoulder blades as you start peeling one vertebrae at a time down into the spine, like a set of dominoes, slowly, slowly. Finally, when your pelvis is back into the mat. Okay, let's try one more. Okay, you want to visualize being like a serpent or a contortionist here. All right, we're trying to loosen up those spinal erectae muscles in our back. Inhale through the chest. Exhale deeply into the low belly and pelvic floor. Rolling that tailbone, sacrum, digging the heels to activate the hamstrings. Climbing one vertebrae at a time, peeling off the mat until you're all the way up into your bridge. Zip that ribs together. You don't want to go past your bridge, arcing your spine. You want to be in an elevated neutral. Palms down, ribs zipped. Okay, now we can do work from here. You may not feel like it today, but here's some work that we could do here, which is now we do not have 4 points of contact on the floor, right? We only have our shoulders on the floor. Our palms are down. But what if one leg got so heavy that the other leg floated and extended? Can we keep a neutral pelvis? All right, return that leg and exhale and extend the other leg. Good. I know this is a lot in the hamstrings, a lot. Exhale, heavy hamstring on the left as right leg straightens and bends to return back down to the mat. Active palms, exhale. As you switch sides, let's take one more on each side as you're able. Heavy palms, active lats. Exhale, heavy left hamstring as right leg extends and alternate. Exhale and return. Now, ideally, when we return, hey, I'm still back at my pelvis where I left it. Great, good job. I mean, where would it go but sink? But okay, so we're at the top of our bridge. Now we're gonna go through our softening through the chest and between the shoulder blades. As we peel down, the base of our rib cage hits the ground. Slowly, one vertebrae at a time. And finally, as the pelvis hits the ground, you soften through the hamstrings. Good. Okay, now I'm gonna roll over onto my side. All right, I'm on my right side now. I'm gonna place the left palm on the ground and I'm gonna press my way up to an upright position. All right, nicely done. Okay, guys, thanks for joining me today. Great session. We will see you Tuesday. Have a great Labor Day weekend. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Have a good weekend. Bye.